So now that WWE's ratings are dropping to a record low, how does this affect All Elite Wrestling's TV deal? Next on the Squared Circle Psychobabble. Hello and welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti. This is Ralph Valenti. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications as we're trying to hit 5,000 YouTube subscribers before All Elite Wrestling, Double or Nothing. And we don't know the TV deal yet as of this recording. We know that WWE ratings are dropping to an all-time low from last week's Monday Night Raw and last week's SmackDown. How does this affect All Elite Wrestling's TV deal, which is still not 100% in place yet?
So because All Elite Wrestling does have the backing from the Khan family, I don't think it'll affect them as much as maybe some people are kind of anticipating. I do think that it should be a little bit alarming that wrestling right now, at least from the WWE perspective, isn't necessarily as popular as it once was. Mm-hmm. And if you're an advertiser or you're somebody who might be taking, into consideration program like AEW and putting it on your TV channel, that's something you might have to consider. If wrestling is not something that's talked about or not popular, why would you run the risk of putting a show like AEW or either any other promotion for that matter on your station if it's not going to draw ratings, if it's not going to bring an alternative eyes to your channel? Now,
I will say that there definitely is a buzz in the wrestling community, and maybe some of those that liked and watched WCW, and maybe after WCW was bought out, they left wrestling. Mm-hmm. Maybe you get some of those fans back, and that's what I think AEW is hoping for with some of their fan base. Right. I think this is a huge concern if I'm AEW. Basically, for the point that you're bringing up, if WWE, who is the number one leader in the wrestling community, in the wrestling world, they're number one, and they continue to drop their ratings. Yep. Other TV networks who don't necessarily follow wrestling are going to be like, well, why should we put this on our product? Right. If they're dropping down, they may not look into it and go, well, they're the 8th most subscribed YouTube channel. They don't care about YouTube channel, because if they're going to put their show on YouTube, why should we put it on our, because people are just going to watch it on YouTube anyway. Right. The other thing, WWE also puts their segments on Twitter almost instantly. So if they're going to put it on Twitter, why should we put it on TV? Like, these are the things that the Khans, Cody, the Bucks, anyone that's involved in this TV deal, this is something that they have to consider. Yeah. And, maybe tell whether it's Turner or Showtime or, the Zone or whoever it ends up being. Tell them that, this is the reason why they're dropping in ratings. It's not, well, maybe it is because the content stinks. We could agree the content stinks, but there's more to it. The content is available on Twitter. It's available on YouTube. It's available instantaneously online. So there's no reason to watch it. Right.
I think that's actually one of the biggest issues with WWE right now, because they do have, they're putting all of their content in different baskets, if you will. Right. So you can get it on Twitter, you can get it on YouTube, and like you said, you can pretty much get it instantaneously. Now, I know why they've done that, because they want to make sure they're catering to all the fans. They know not everybody's got 3 hours on Monday to focus just on Monday Night Raw. They don't have 2 hours on Tuesday to focus just on watching SmackDown. So what they do is they put it out there on social media so people could just get the main things that are happening, and still keep people involved and pique their interest. But at the same time, they're also diminishing their weekly product. And I think that's starting to definitely show in their ratings, because if I know, one, the content's not good, which I think a good majority of the wrestling community, and you and I can probably agree, the content ain't that good right now. Right. I think we could all agree on that. If the content's not good, you're probably not going to watch it anyway. And if you want to just see what's going on and not dedicate 3 hours or 2 hours to just watching Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, you can go on YouTube and just get the highlights, or you can go to Twitter and just get the highlights. So me as a consumer, why would I tune into the TV show, which ultimately is something like Fox or USA? The ratings are probably important to them, not to me as a consumer, but to them as a business. They want to see the ratings. Now, what AEW can take from that is, okay, well, we can present our content. Let's say they have a show on, whether it's TNT or TBS or whatever channel they decide to go on. They can do that, but they might want to scale back a little bit on presenting the rest of the whatever's going on social media, at least right away. Let people actually invest some time, whether it's an hour or 2 hours, however long, their time slot is. When people want to invest in your content or your company, if you're AEW, make sure they're watching your show. You don't want to have it all over the place, because if it's on Facebook, I'll go watch the highlights on Facebook. I'm not going to spend 3 hours watching a TV show if I can get the highlights in 30 minutes. It doesn't make sense.
Now, here's a big advantage to this whole situation when it comes to that. Now the Khans are the ones who run AEW. Yes. Tony Khan, who is a statistician by trade, but his first job with the Jacksonville Jaguars is stats and analytics. So he could see this and go, well, here's what WWE's doing wrong from an analytical perspective. Here's where we could double down. The other thing you could take into effect is the fact that being with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he could see what the NFL does and what WWE does. Look at the ratings that the NFL has. Even when their ratings aren't that good, they're still miles ahead of what WWE has, even on Monday Night Football.
Right.
Everyone makes the excuse on why the Raw ratings fall in the fall. It's, they're competing with Monday Night Football. Well, there's a reason, because on Monday nights, you have to watch the game on Monday night.
Yeah.
Sure, they might have some highlights on SportsCenter afterwards, but it's a 2-minute clip. WWE gives you segment almost minute by minute on YouTube within an hour. That's it.
Yep.
You want to watch the whole game of the NFL? You have to watch it live.
Yeah. And like I said, I understand why WWE does that, because it's convenient for the fan. It's convenient for the consumer who doesn't necessarily have as much time to invest in the program week after week. But it really does, to me, in my opinion, diminishes the value of the TV show. Why would I watch a 3-hour TV show? Why would I watch a 2-hour TV show when I can get the highlights in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
But either way, I think the most important thing for AEW is they said they want to be an alternative. Mm-hmm. They're going to try to do different things that's going to separate themselves from WWE. Jim Ross said, I think in one of his most recent interviews, I think it was on the podcast he did with Bubba Ray Dudley.
Busted Open.
That's it. Yep. So he said that, we're not going to chase the WWE. We don't want to be the WWE. No. And that's the worst thing they could possibly do. AEW needs to be AEW. It needs to set itself apart. It needs to prove that it's an alternative, whether they're going to compete or not. We've gone over that a million times. But it needs to prove to the consumer that, look, we know that WWE is not good, but this really is an alternative. It's faster paced. Look, we're doing weigh-ins. We're doing different things. The production value is different. Mm-hmm. It has to set itself apart. And if it does that, I think that they'll be successful. I think the ratings will be right where they need to be. Double or Nothing certainly is going to be a pivotal moment in this company, because All In was successful, and that was one of the reasons why AEW got the attention that it got. Now, I know that obviously wasn't an AEW program, but it was a majority of the guys that are going to be involved with AEW going forward.
Yeah.
So for Double or Nothing, they got to come out swinging. It has to be a smashing success in order for people to see that, hey, we're capable of doing this, whether from production value, in-ring value. They just got to make sure that they're earning the respect from the whatever TV station they try to go with at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. So just to wrap things up here, I did watch a video last week by What Culture Wrestling. Simon did his Why series, and it was why AEW is actually good for WWE.
Yep.
Now, he brings up a lot of the whole Monday Night War aspect and everything. Do you think, now that we are getting closer and closer and closer to Double or Nothing and All Elite Wrestling actually coming to existence, do you think WWE finally says, you know what, we got to make some changes here?
The moment AEW gets a TV deal, and if the ratings are even remotely close to what some people think they could be, then WWE should really take a long look at itself in the mirror and say, we got to make some serious changes, whether it's from a storyline perspective, just how they're structured, maybe the contracts they're offering to certain people. Because we know that we're not going to get less of the product. But those are contracts that are set. You're not getting less than 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. You're not getting less hours of SmackDown. So something's going to have to change. And what do you have control of? You have control of your storylines and your programming.
Yep.
So that's got to change.
Let us know what you think. Do WWE's ratings decline affect AEW and their TV deal? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to share this all over social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, SCPB Podcast. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications as we're trying to hit 5,000 YouTube subscribers before All Elite Wrestling, Double or Nothing. For Rob Valenti, my name is Michael Valenti, and thank you for watching the Squared Circle Psychobabble.